It says, imagine two otherwise identical retail outlets on opposite ends of a town. Customers are uniformly distributed between the two outlets and incur a constant transport cost per unit distance. Both firms have the same constant marginal cost of production, and it says which of the following is not true. So let's go through these and find the true statement so we can cancel those. Well, A says, if the transport cost per unit distance is very high, prices will equal the monopoly level. And this is true because if you can imagine that people on this side of the town are, so there's a one retail outlet on this side of the town. Well, the customers on this side of the town are not going to want to travel to the other retail outlet on this side of the town if it costs them a whole bunch to travel. So effectively, these firms will have their own monopoly because customers on that side of the town aren't going to travel to the other one. So each firm is acting as if they're alone in the market or as if they're a monopoly. So we can get rid of A because we know that's true. B says, if the transport cost per unit distance is 0 and capacity is unlimited, price will equal marginal cost. Well, this is true because now if transport costs are 0, people on this side of the town can easily travel to the other side of the town and get the other outlets' merchandise. So if they're basically identical outlets and they're competing on price, what we know about homogeneous things or identical things that compete with price is price is going to equal marginal cost. So we know that that is true. Also, we can get rid of B. C says, if the transport cost per unit distance is 0 and each firm's capacity is less than half the total market, price will equal marginal cost. Well, this is not true. This is going to be our correct answer. It's a little fishy statement. It kind of doesn't make sense at all. But let's look at why D is true, and that'll be the better way to answer this question is finding all the true statements. D says, if transport cost per unit distance is 0, if the firms must choose capacity in a first stage of the game prior to setting prices, and if the cost of capacity is constant per unit of capacity put in place, equilibrium price will be between cost and the monopoly level. And he uses this example a bunch. If there's a two-stage game where in the first stage you pick capacity and in the second stage you compete on prices, well then price will be between the monopoly level and the per unit cost. So he uses that a bunch. It's kind of hard to understand. Some of these are better to memorize, and that's one of them. So D we know is true, therefore we're left with C is our right answer in this case.